Good morning, everyone. It is a Thursday morning, and the traffic is a little more heavier today for a lot of students, a lot of kids. Our kids, it's their first day of school. It's everyone's kind of anxious, nervous, scared. No one really even knows what to expect. Not even the teachers and, the administrators. Everyone is taking this day by day, and that's all we can do. Try to do the best we can to stay safe and careful, but also put our trust in God, who knows all things. And we have to let our kids know that. Tell them, yes, that they're beautiful, and tell them they got this and they're smart and strong. Also remind them who God is in their life. And send them off with just a positive attitude and looking forward to a good day, whether they are staying home and doing virtual or whether they're actually going on campus. Encourage them. I am praying for all of our kids today, and the parents and their guardians and the teachers. This is all going to be a new thing, but we're all going to get through it together. We will. God will see us through. So I'm going to just give a word of encouragement. We're talking about Acres of Diamonds, and we are finishing up actually chapter 4, and it is called See It and Believe It. The Bible will a lot of times, God would give, his disciples, his children, his followers, a picture that would show his promises, just clear. And one of those examples is in Judges 7. If you want to read that sometime, it talks about Gideon. He promised Gideon he would deliver the Midianites and the Amalekites into his hands. You see, when Gideon saw on the surface, when he just looked with his natural eye, his little army of 300 men, the army of Israel, that was just very minute when he looked to see what the enemy was. They were outnumbered. That army on the other side was 135,000 soldiers from Midian. And Gideon wasn't confident, even though God had gave him the promise that he was going to, he was going to win that battle. Sometimes you will be in a situation and you'll be surrounded by darkness, and you really won't see a way out. And even though God has given you a promise that he's going to see you through, you don't really see it. And God knows this. He even told Gideon, he said, okay, if you don't believe me, with just me saying my promise, I want you to go down to the enemy's camp. Go with your servant, and you're going to hear what they say, and then your hands will be strengthened to fight. And so that's what he did. He went and he hid at the edge of the enemy's camp. He watched and he listened. He saw thousands and thousands of soldiers, pitched in their tent. They're all just kind of talking around the fire about the battle that's coming. They were armed, dangerous, ready for war. I'm sure that was not very encouraging to Gideon at that time. That probably made him more scared, more fearful. But then he listened, and he heard, and he seen something. He heard one of the soldiers talking to his buddy about a dream that he had had. And he said, "You're not going to believe this, but a loaf of barley bread rolled down the hill and wiped us out." Can you believe that? What a strange dream. His friend gasped. And it's like his color, probably drained from his face. And he said, that's not a dream. God given insight to this man. He said, I know what exactly that loaf of barley bread is. That's Gideon, the army of Israel's leader. God has delivered Midian and the whole camp into his hands. And upon hearing this, Gideon seen the picture. He's seen himself winning. He's seen himself a victor. He saw God's promise coming true. He saw God using him. He saw his acres of diamond at that moment. And after he got that image, he started to worship. A promise from God is a revelation of God's divine intentions in your life through his word. The key, though, is to turn that promise into a picture. You'll never possess the promises of God until you see them. And if you see them, God can bring them to pass. If you see it, you can have it. If you see it, God can do it. If you see it, it can become a reality. But you have to see it and believe it. You have to see yourself walking in it. If you're struggling with an addiction, get into the promises of God. Read what the Word says about you. The Word says you can be free, that you can have those chains of bondage broken off of you with whatever you're going through, and you can be set free. Your acres of diamond is freedom. You got to start renewing your mind. Do not see yourself as a nobody or a loser or a failure or an addict. Get filled with what God says about you and create an image in your mind walking in that freedom. Believing something is crucial, it's critical, but so is seeing it. In Proverbs 29:18, it even says that without a vision, the people perish. If there's no vision for the future, there is no power in your present. The more vision that you have for your future, the more power you have in your present time. So even though you're going through, if you're going through this season of brokenness, of sadness, of depression, of loneliness, of illness, see yourself how God sees you, what he says about you. Read in the Bible what he says about you. You are a child of God. You are created in his image. And the same power that raised Jesus from the dead is in you. So you can fight these battles. But you have to see yourself as a winner, as a victor. And once you do that, you will see things start to change. There was a story that he used in this book where he called Peter into the ministry. And Peter was a fisherman. He had been fishing all night, and morning had come. He had still not caught any fish at all. And Jesus was about to tell Peter, he wanted him to follow him, but he didn't do it right at that moment. He waited, and if he would have told him right then, follow me after all those empty nets, it just didn't really start off very good, did it? He didn't want Peter to have a small mind about winning souls, about his view of saving souls. He wanted Peter to think big. And to do that, he needed to give him a picture, to see something, a miracle mentality. So Jesus told him, throw your net on the other side. And when Peter did, there was so many fish in that net, it almost busted the seams, probably took the boat almost over. Then Jesus told Peter at that time to follow him. In Luke 5:10, it says, don't be afraid. From now on, you'll be fishing for men, for people. At this critical time in Peter's life, he didn't have a small mind of reaching just a handful of people. He had that miracle mentality, an image of overflow, that he could reach out and, get hundreds, thousands for the kingdom, he could see it. He had an image in his head, and he believed it. Albert Einstein, he once said, imagination is more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited. You know, you can learn so much from books and, you know, videos. You know, you can fill your mind with knowledge, which is absolutely wonderful. But imagination encircles the world. Imagination can take you beyond what facts and knowledge is. And that's what happened with the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. You know, knowledge, facts told her, yes, you're sick. You have a blood disease. You've been to every doctor, spent all your money for them to tell you that your situation was hopeless. But her imagination, her belief was different. It went beyond knowledge and the facts of the situation. She knew that if she could just touch the hem of his garment, to just get in contact with God, the healer, the great physician, that she would be made whole. This woman released her faith beyond what was told to her, beyond what was said over her. And when this woman got that picture in her mind and she followed through, she was healed instantly. So facts may tell you that you shouldn't believe. They may tell you that you can't build something successful, that you can be something different than what you are. They may tell you you're not educated enough, or that you don't have the right connections, or you don't have the support you need. But if you just get the picture of how God sees you, you will get a vision for your future. And it is always more than enough. Ask God for a picture of your acres of diamonds. And then when he does, you see it and you believe it. Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing. You have more potential than you think. You can achieve more than most ever expect of you. My mom used to always say, and it rings in my ear all the time, there is greatness in you. There is greatness in you. So ask God to open your eyes to the potential of where you can go. And he will. He'll show you a beautiful picture of what life could be like. And you believe it, and you go for it, and you proclaim that scripture over your life. I love y'all. Y'all have the best day. And just know that I am praying for all of the students out there and all of the parents and teachers and administrators. I'm praying for all of y'all today. I pray a hedge of protection around y'all. And I pray that you just have the best year. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.